So forgiving lets go of a lot of that. Asking for forgiveness is a very, very powerful tool. So moving from there, the part about asking for forgiveness that's a good piece moving on is when you apologize, be clear about what it is that you did that you're not going to do again. What was the offense? What was the thing that upset your fellow worker, the person at the cubicle next to you? If you're clear about that, you express that you're not going to do that again, and then it really helps that other person accept you as recognizing the offense and sincere about moving forward and working with them. And then from there, I think maintaining a good working relationship requires that you be constantly listening to them and treating them as legitimate individuals that are your partners in the endeavor that you're engaged in. And that requires constant communication. It requires consulting them before you decide to do something, or before you go around them, or before you act in such a way that may in some way affect or harm them. Always try to understand their perceptions. Never act when you're emotional. The count to 10 thing is extremely powerful. So always balance reason with emotion. Never make a decision when emotions are high in the workplace. And eventually, I think through these behaviors, you will develop trust, but always work on well-founded trust. That is, be wholly trustworthy yourself, but not necessarily always trusting. Trust but verify, I guess, might be something that people have heard before. And going back to the triangle where you have that power approach, try to use persuasion. Always try to use persuasion rather than coercion. Coercion is the last approach, last tool you want to pull out of the toolbox. So focus on persuasion.
Yeah, I love that. You gave so many rich things in there. And I was, again, jotting down some notes. And what struck me was, first, I think the starting place of this is the apology, which I think you emphasized really well. And you said you want to make sure that you not only acknowledge in the apology what you did, but what you're not going to do going forward, or what you're going to do differently going forward. And I think that's an important reminder for all of us, so we don't just say, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. That's not really an apology. That's more of a sympathetic comment versus really saying, I did this thing. I did not intend for it to hurt you, but it did, and this is what I'm going to do differently going forward. But I think people don't consider, I know I don't, to include the ask for forgiveness at the end. I hope you can forgive me and we can move forward in a productive way, or some statement around that. That invitation, I think, is important at the end. And then I also think just a good apology, you make a good point around this, saying that, a good apology, it doesn't end there. It's not like, okay, now I can go back to doing what I was doing before. I apologized. It requires a concerted effort to change behavior.